Okay, so I'm continuing Aries on the other one. I got two running it right now. So um, I am continuing Aries, telling Aries about this reading. End of relationships for Aries. Aries, you're going to be needing to end your relationships with women that are, or men, and this is not going to apply too much uh, to just women exclusively. This will be more men Aries that I'm talking to. But if you're a woman Aries, it's just as important because you're going to feel all this. You're going to know all this. In fact, you're going to think all this applies to you when much of it doesn't. Because if you're an Aries woman, it doesn't. This is an Aries man problem, and it's a refusal to take the divine feminine. So it's literally, if you're an Aries woman, you're just going to be familiar with all this. So it's important that you just kind of maybe get this information, but realize it's not all about you, Aries woman. That you're not really involved as much because you could be the divine feminine, and so why wouldn't you take yourself? You know what I mean? This is about Aries men that won't take. If they take themselves, they won't be her. They're going to take only the masculine version of self. And so women Aries will be less troubled because they're already a woman. They're going to tend to say, well, I don't mind taking the feminine and being a goddess or being a divine feminine. Aries men won't want to do it. Okay, so it's an ended relationship for you, Aries. It's basically you got to get rid of people that won't let you be yourself. And understand, Aries, this is also advising you that if you're of the knowledge now, because you know this, you're aware of this, then you'll be able to take the spirit of others, and you won't be, well, you will be mad about it, but don't be mad about it. Try to realize that your feeling will not like to do it, and you're going to have to do it. Well, you don't have to do it, but Aries, if you're already leading people, like you're a leader and your job is manager somewhere and you're managing people, you won't have problems. You're going to be able to take your own spirit. They're going to let you do it because you're already in charge. But Aries, if you're not a manager or leading, you will be having problems because you need to be leading something in order to even be okay, Aries. You're not okay as a follower. You're not okay as just an employee somewhere that is like under the thumb of everybody else. It's just that you won't be okay if it is the case. You've got in the future, Aries, the Radiant card, which is not even included in the deck. But I included it in the deck because the Radiant card, it comes with the deck brand new, but it has a meaning to me. It means that in the future, Aries, it's not going to be good is the feeling you're going to get right now. It's not good. Aries, you're going to know it's not good. Nothing's good unless you're leading. And if you're an Aries that doesn't have a problem, well, then I'm not talking about you, but don't think because you don't have a problem that Aries isn't having huge problems. You'll probably be able to relate to what's going on here. The possibility for you, Aries, is good. Lots of good things in the future for you. Lots of excellent stuff. Success, Aries. You are going to be in 2022 turning everything around if you would like to. But understand, if you would not like to, then you'll already be mad about what's been happening to you for so long. And what's been happening to you is unfair treatment by those who are ignorant, that don't know or don't care about your unique predicament. So in the future, Aries, you're going to have to deny your problem and just ignore your anger. You're going to have to get your temper under control and realize that you're not going to win if you're mad, and you're not going to win if you're angry, losing it all the time, and you're just trying to get your spirit back. You can take your spirit, Aries. You can take your spirit, and they won't like it. So let's say you're at work, and you're at work, and you're going to take your spirit. So they're already going to look at you funny, like, oh, okay, here comes Aries. He or she, probably he, but could be a she, but more likely he, thinks he can do whatever he wants. He thinks he can do whatever he wants, and he thinks he's the boss, but he's just an employee that's not the boss. So even the boss will look at you, Aries, when you take your own spirit, as you're all, like, they'll be suspicious of you already. And they're going to look at you funny, like you're, okay, you think you could be manager over me, Aries? You think you're the manager, do you? It's just because you're taking your own spirit that it is in charge. It's in charge, and that's the problem with why you're getting pushed out, Aries. If you're not in charge, your spirit is certainly going to be in charge of other spirits. It's the number one spirit, the first one, the only one, the chosen one. It'll also be immature, And the least mature, if it's having problems, it's going to screw its own, position up. So what the situation here is, Aries, you're screwing your position up because you can't do what they can do. They're telling you, we can do it, Aries. Why can't you do it? And you're saying, I can't do it. And you can do it. But don't come to me and say that I can do it too because you can do it. And why can't I do it? Because I can't do it. But you can. So don't expect me to do what I can't do. And that's the feeling you'll get. And you'll be really mad about it, Aries, because you're already feeling it, but you don't understand, except what I just told you is now to be understood. If you do, that you need to realize that you had a righteous anger that was not wrong, but it was truly an error, because what could you do but to fight the world if you don't even have your own spirit, and they don't want you to have it because they're expecting you could do two things or be plural, and they can do two things and be plural, so why can't you? Because you're not two, and they're all two. Every sign in the zodiac, Aries, is at least two. You're the one, and you're only one. So just like the numbers in mathematics, 1 through 12, look at it. How can the two go into one? It can't. But the one goes into two, the one goes into three, the one goes into everything. So the one gets into it. So you can get into things, Aries. You can influence things, both for good and bad. In the future, Aries, you have the world in reverse. It's basically what's coming up as your energy. Now, the world in reverse, Aries. What are you going to do? You're going to be in reverse. Every potential for you is in reverse now, because it's like, how are you going to deal with this, Aries? This absolute truth that you can deny yourself, Aries, the right to be angry. Do you understand? Deny yourself the right to be mad, even if you're righteously angry. You don't have a right to be mad, Aries, because if you're mad, you're just screwing it all up. Nothing's going to work for you. Your anger will be convicting others, and it's going to convict the spirit of others, which you also see as criminal against you. So look, Aries, this isn't really good, this whole thing. That what I'm saying is it's really a bad situation for you. You've come to become like enemies with the spirit of other people, because they forced you, and they've wrongly forced you to lose your own spirit and take theirs. You're just not right. You're just thinking, no way, they're wrong. They're so wrong. And understand, now you're enemies with them, and now you're wrong. You're not going to be right, Aries, no matter how righteous you are, if you're going to be against others or the spirit of Libra or other people. So you have to realize that your own anger is your fault, and it's because you didn't know. It's not your fault, really. It's more like you didn't know and you reacted completely ignorantly, because what could you do? It wasn't so ignorant, really. It was that you knew that you couldn't do what they could do, and ultimately they wouldn't do what you could do, and they could do what you can do. They could all be singulars, and so they're saying, we could be plural though. Why can't you? Because I can't. I'm a one. The Ace of Pentacles is Earth element in reverse surrounding you, Aries. Earth element surrounding you in reverse is the earth signs. Could be your enemy. Aries, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn could be your enemies. Capricorn could be your ally and also your enemy. So be careful of Capricorn and or Virgo, and Taurus will also be your friends. So understand that what you're going to feel is they're the enemy. The earth signs are your enemy, Aries. They're going to expect you to be plural like them. They could all be plural and they could all be singular. All the earth signs are advanced over you. So you need to know that if you're enemies with a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn, well, you're not supposed to be enemies with them. You're certainly going to be enemies with them because they're going to expect you to be earth sign and you're fire element, singularity. You're not earth. So you can't do what they're expecting you to do, and they can't really expect you to do it if they knew the truth. They would expect you maybe they would still expect you to do it, and that would be truly where you're going to become their enemy. Okay, the Hierophant, Aries, is the religiousness of the dedication to the cause of what you need to do. And you're not a saint, Aries. If you are a saint, understand you're the best saint, Aries, because when you're a saint, you'll be dispossessed. If you could dedicate your life to being dispossessed of your soul, taking everyone else's souls, and then being dedicated to it, well, then you could be the truest and best saint in the world, and you'll be honored. But the reality is, Aries, you're not a saint. You can be the best saint because when you don't even have your spirit at all, you'll either be okay with it and make it your purpose to be okay with it, only 2% of the Aries in the entire world will actually be okay with not having their own spirit and make themselves okay with it. They won't be okay with it. So truly, if you are okay with not even being yourself, Aries, then you are a saint. And if you're a saint, people will honor you 100% for not having yourself and not even caring to. So understand, Aries, the way out of this hardship is that you are okay with taking other people's spirits, that you're not going to continue to be enemies with them, and that you're going to be realizing that it's okay. Yeah, I won't like it. I'm not going to like losing myself and having to take them, but I'll be a saint. Well, you'll be the best one, and they'll like you. They probably won't believe you at first. Anyone you already knew won't believe that you're doing it. They'll say, no, you're faking it, or you're just not doing it. But new people that so Aries, you may have to get rid of all your friends. You may have to get rid of everybody that was your friend, because they're going to treat you like as if you'll never get it and you'll never make it. And that's going to put you in a place, Aries, where you're going to regret life. You're going to regret everybody else and hate yourself and hate the world, thinking it's against you. And it might be against you. So understand that it will be against you. You're going to have to realize that you're either dedicated to being not yourself, and then the world will accept you after you prove it. And they'll make you prove it for a long time. So it's not going to be easy, because they won't believe you're really a saint. They're going to say, nah, Aries can't be a saint. They won't even know any of this, Aries. They're going to feel it. They're going to still feel it, and they'll know it on some level. So they won't believe you when you're actually being them a lot. And so you won't do it. You'll be mad, and you'll go back to selfish anger. Aries, the result here is the Ace of Wands. The result of this reading is the Ace of Wands, and it is you and the power of the Ace of Wands. It's Aries with Sagittarius energy, and also Leo. It's all the fire signs. It's a singular element, and Sagittarius can do what you can't, Aries. And Leo can do more than you. So and ultimately you can be singular more than either one of them, which means that you'll even think you could be doing better than them. Aries, your power is in your singularity. Your singularity is opposing other things, which means that, Aries, you're at your best in your power when you are fighting wars. You come from the god of war, Aries. Unfortunately, your power lies in being against things, fighting things, and you'll be the strongest in the zodiac. You'll be stronger than Leo, maybe even when you're against things. But understand, you won't be for anything, Aries. If you're going to have your power, you'll be against everything. To take it, you'll be against everything first, and that's how you'll justify taking it. Otherwise, you won't take it. And then you'll be a crushed victim of the world that beats you and will continue to beat you your whole life while you feel utterly conquered. And then you'll be absolutely just unhappy and miserable and suicidal or whatever. Aries, if you're depressed or suicidal, it's because you're not able to take your own spirit. You're have to take their spirit, or you're dispossessed and you don't have anything, which is even worse than having them. It's better to have them, Aries, than to have nothing. Because if you have nothing, they'll know you don't have them still. And even though you don't have yourself, because you got rid of it, or they pushed you out, well, take them, and you'll hate it. It'll be the worst thing. You'll say, that's the last thing I'll ever do is take them, be them. Well, Aries, that's how you're going to win, is to be them. And if you fake it, well, it's not going to work. Understand, you can't fake being other people, Aries, because they're going to know that you're faking it. So you can't be false and act nice when you're really not feeling nice. They will discover you. They're going to feel it on some level and say Aries is pretending, or Aries is false. So you've got to really be okay with being others, Aries, and you won't be able to be yourself. Do you understand? You're going to lose the ability. You cannot be against the High Priestess. The High Priestess is a clarification for this reading. You cannot be against the High Priestess. Good luck, Aries.